In this tutorial we're going to take a look at task suspendability and the impact that can have on modelling offshore operations. We're going to start with an analysis file from tutorial 1, an analysis in 10 minutes, and this has been unedited. We're going to use this as our base case. Here we can see we've got 3 tasks and that the suspendability on these tasks is set to not suspendable. We can see that indicated on the task card here, and we can also see it in the task details in this drop down. Let's run this as a base case, so go to the Run tab, give it a description, so something like NS, and hit Run Analysis. What not suspendable means is that each task must complete in one go, in one working window, so stopping work, pausing work for any reason is not valid. Now that that's run, we can hit OK and head over to the Analyze tab to take a look at our results. Let's go there to the sources, add a new source, and add ns_output.zip. Look at the summary table, and we can see a minimum duration of about 100 hours, a maximum duration of about 550 hours, and the mean duration is about 200 hours. Okay, so now let's take a look at the other suspendability cases that we have. Let's return to Setup and to the tasks, and let's change each task to be suspendable if vessel holds station. The task details panel now asks for a number of different durations. We'll have a look at these in more detail in a little bit. Let's go through the remaining tasks and set those to be suspendable if vessel holds station as well. We can now return to the Run tab, provide a new description, so IHS, and run the analysis. Now we're allowing work to be stopped if and only if the vessel stays on location. So we can start and stop work and work across multiple windows, but if the vessel needs to return, say, to port for to shelter from a storm event, that's invalid and the work will not be allowed. So that's completed, and we can hit OK and go over to the Analyze tab, where we can have a look at this result source. So load up the second results, the IHS_output.zip, return to the summary table, and these are the initial results, and we can now switch to the new results. We can see that the minimum is still 106 hours, that the maximum has reduced to 260 hours, and that the mean is 144 hours now. So the project has been run quicker because we can work across multiple windows. Let's now take a look at fully suspendable. Again, going to each task, let's change it to fully suspendable, and once again additional durations are requested, and we'll discuss those shortly. Let's just repeat this process across all the tasks. Return to the Run tab, provide a new description, so FS, and hit Run Analysis. And now we're allowing the work to be completed across multiple windows with work stopping and starting as required, regardless of the vessel location. So if the vessel is required to return to port for a storm event, that's not a problem. Work stops, the vessel returns to port, and when it comes back out, it picks up where it left off. So that's now completed. We can hit OK, and again return to the Analyze tab, where we can take a look at the results. So let's load up this new source, which is fs_output.zip, and return to the summary table. We can see that the minimum value is still 106 hours, that's unchanged. The maximum value 220 hours, and the mean value is 141.5 hours, so they've all reduced. If we have a look at the additional information that's requested when we change from a not suspendable task to one of the suspendable cases. So in the not suspendable task, we're required to give a length of work that we need to complete. In the suspendable cases, we still provide this information, but we also provide startup, task resume time, minimum working time, and maximum pause time. So the length here is 15 hours, that's unchanged. The startup is the period of work that we need to perform before we can begin working on the task, and we will incur that once before the first valid working window. The task resume time is the period of time we spend restarting after a suspension or after a break in the work. The minimum working time is the minimum window that we want to try and utilise so that we're not starting up for say 5 or 10 minutes of work. Make sure we do something meaningful. And the maximum pause time is the length of time that we're willing to wait before we suspend the work. So if we were to say put half an hour into this parameter, any pause of less than 30 minutes we would not incur the resume time because we would have paused rather than suspended. Beyond that, we count that as a suspension and we incur the resume time when work restarts. By having these cases of different cases of suspendability, we can quite realistically model a number of the tasks that are performed in offshore operations